Hey guys, it's Shady and welcome back to the Shady Show. This is part two of the two-part podcast. As you may have noticed, this one is about 20 minutes longer. I hope that's okay, but of course this is something to listen to, and I think it's quite interesting the stuff we go into in this part of the episode. So I hope you enjoy, and it will pick up straight from where we left off in part one. Enjoy. I think as the last thing for us to talk about today, I think is what we think about pre-update 5.5 and after 5.5, because we all know 5.5 as the one that removed the MS1 from the game and all the other tier ones and stuff.
Ep.20.
So what do you think about that?
Well, personally, I felt like it was kind of horrible, but at the same time kind of good, because there's a lot of seal clubbers, and those seal clubbers they would play low tiers. They'd super unicum them to a degree, but like they would play awful in the higher tiers. But also at the same time, now a lot of tanks, like now the current 820 is like probably, in my opinion, one of the worst tier 4s. Like Matilda can destroy it.
Yeah, Matilda used to be very bad, actually.
Yeah.
I remember, but now it's actually not too bad.
Yeah.
And same goes for the...
Well, they did nerf the Matilda recently. They nerfed it, and the armor's a bit lighter in the front.
Oh yeah, because it was too
like the
good
weak
before,
spot on
wasn't
the
it?
driver's
Yeah, I
hatch.
remember it was too good before.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really, really bad, like pre 5.5, and it ended up like being better after 5.5.
Yeah.
And then now they had to nerf it again because it's just too much.
I think before as well, in especially tier 5, the KV1 was completely broken.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was like it was so good.
Oh yeah.
And they've only really like taken it. They've removed it they've nerfed it so much that it's gone out of relevancy now, because it's so bad that you can't do anything about it. Yeah, and the same goes for, I can't remember what, I think it's the Leopard 5.
Yeah.
That used to be really good as well, and then they've nerfed that to the point that it's not awful, it's just not good anymore.
Yeah, it's not like as competitive or reliable in certain scenarios.
Yeah, they certainly discouraged seal clubbing, even though they keep I can't remember that tier 3 that
the Kennyotsu.
Yeah, that's the one, the Kennyotsu. They kept that in the game, and they haven't done anything to it, and that tank is completely broken.
But now what they're doing is they're unofficially nerfing the Kennyotsu by buffing everything else.
Oh, that's true.
So you don't feel the Kennyotsu is as OP by buffing every single other vehicle.
Yeah. Because I think what the mistake they made is because they nerfed every tank and they switched around the tanks in the tiers, but they forgot about the Kennyotsu. So after the update, all these tanks that were good were now really bad, and people were still playing them. But there was the Kennyotsu that was still fucking like broken.
Really broken.
Yeah. And there's not a lot people could do against it, and I think Wargaming have been kind of forced to do something about it.
Look, I think it's one of the easiest tanks to master, right? Like, as long as you do like 1500, 1200 damage, it's a mastery. Almost.
Yeah, exactly. You just got such a sheer rate of fire, then it's easy to do.
Doesn't it reload every like 6 seconds?
Obsolete. Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree that 5.5 in some respects was a bad thing and a good thing as well. I don't think they should have removed the MS1.
The tier 1s generally, like the T1 Light.
The tier 1 and like the LTR.
Wow.
Life Tractor.
The medium one.
I think it was the R1 or something, Renault 1 or something, where the French
the
one.
R
Yeah, maybe.
There's a couple.
I don't think they needed to remove those.
I don't think they needed to replace them with like the T26.
Yeah, because they just brought down tier 2s to tier 1, and I don't quite see the point of doing that. And they also removed, I remember, the T46, which is the one that would come after the T26. That was really good.
Yeah. Oh.
And then
the T82 gun carriage, the T18.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's still there though. You can rebuy them as a collectible vehicle.
Yeah. But they've at the same time deleted a lot of tanks from the game as well, like the MS1, and like a lot of these tanks are completely gone now. You can't buy them back, which is
kind of annoying at the same time.
Like, especially if you have a
One thing
negative
I
win
did,
rate and you're trying to fix everything back to at least
Yeah.
50,
yeah,
60%.
exactly,
50% win rate in my MS1.
The MS1 is
Yeah.
actually my best best vehicle.
Oh,
That's the reason why I
Cool.
don't stat pad anymore. I try not to.
yeah,
Like the ARL 44, I played it 2 years too late. I never had any
yeah,
respect for the vehicle. And then, oh, it's actually a very, very good vehicle. Oops.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
I
stuck at
remember that.
98%, 98 games. I can't
Oh,
bring it up to
wow.
Yeah,
100. The moment I bring it to
yeah,
100, sure, it has an 80% win rate if I win 2 more games, right? But it will beat my
yeah,
MS1.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
can't. I can't.
I get
The
that.
MS1 has to be the number one vehicle.
Yeah, MS1 has to be
Highest
number
win rate.
one. Yeah, yeah, I like that.
I
Yeah.
remember back in the
Also,
day, the medium one, the British Tier 1, had the Tier 2
oh my
derp
god, I
gun.
forgot about those.
And
Wasn't
could
that the
just
slow
Yeah,
one
spam.
though?
yeah, I think it
It was a
the one
really
that was
slow
kind of like
one, but it had a
boxy.
big gun.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
had like
yeah,
paper armor too, but it could tear everyone apart. And if you were a veteran player and you knew that right off the bat, you could get like 100% win rate, like 900 average damage in it. It was just like one of those tanks that actually all the tier ones had good HE back then. So if you could go in a full match and find a bot and just farm it.
yeah, yeah. That's very true. Like another thing that I like, the only thing I probably liked about 5.5, like quite a lot, was the fact that I had the opportunity to just get like 5k free gold for no reason. That was quite nice.
I think
But
it's from all the vehicles, right? From all the vehicles that you removed from the garage.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was cool. At the same time, I think because before the lines were longer, because well, not longer, but there was like more alternatives for people to do. And for example, I think there was like 3 or 4 PZ4 Panzer 4 variants
Yeah.
at one point, and as a result, like new players would play to get all of them instead of just one of them, and that would slow down the time that it would take them to get to tier 10. So it would take them longer to get to tier 10. Now that that's gone, I feel that they will get to tier 10 a lot quicker without learning perhaps the skills they could have learned if they spent longer getting the other tanks. So I think that's probably one of the things that is negative about the update from that point of view.
Like it is easier for new players, so people are more enticed to keep playing the game, which is what Wargaming
Yeah,
wants. And
yeah,
in a way, what we want, so we have more players to play with. But yeah, it made it
yeah,
so easy for people. I don't have like I'm playing a Tiger. Oh, I don't have to learn how to side
yeah,
scrape. I'm a Tiger 1. I'm just gonna poke out. That's one of the most iconic vehicles in the game. Not because
yeah,
of its history,
yeah,
but not only because of its history, but it's a fun tank to play. And people will be like,
exactly.
oh, the Tiger is so weak in this game, even in World of Tanks PC. But they don't
Yeah,
realize that if you use it properly, the armor, you side scrape, you pick your shots. No, I mean sniping from the back, which is, it could do it, but it's better up, a bit closer,
Yeah.
yeah,
like second line or front line, depending on the tier you're in. If you're top tier, you go front line. You're low tier, you go second, support your other heavies and mediums. But those
yeah,
are the skills that the new players should be introduced to, like side scraping.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. I think those are like important skills you need to know in certain tanks, like the Tiger 2 especially. I mean, if you don't know how to side scrape in the
you
Tiger
are
2, you won't
screwed.
do as well as you can.
You are
Yeah,
screwed in the
exactly.
Tiger 2.
Yeah, exactly. The Tiger 2, you need to be able to side scrape, and then if you can do that, then you can obviously do really well. But a lot of people don't, and it's not frustrating because you obviously get an easy farm, but it's annoying to just see a Tiger 2 sitting there in the open where you can just pen so easily. It's annoying to the point that it's not even a challenge for you anymore.
Yeah,
You
just
can just
easy
Yeah, all you have to
damage.
do is load premium ammunition, and we'll go through most of the vehicles. Will just go
exactly,
through the Tiger, even after the buff.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
People were
And
actually wondering how I was able to get a 70% win rate on a Tiger 2, even before the armor
yeah,
buff.
yeah. I
It's
think
not that
I
hard.
have
Just side scrape.
90% on it. Yeah, it's
Just side scrape.
I got it. Yeah, I got it for this tier 8 tournament, whatever it's called, summer season, which is supposed to be a professional tournament at tier 8, which is kind of a joke. I got the Tiger 2 and I started playing it. I grinded it from stock pretty much, and I still have 70% and 2.2k average in it because it's a Tiger 2. I was
It's
just
how
like,
you just know how to use the vehicle, and it will
exactly.
play as close to as it's not probably historically accurate, but you can make the
Yeah.
vehicle work. I still believe the
Yes,
Tiger 2 is one
exactly.
of the most OP vehicles. If there's a
I agree. I agree that it
I would
is.
prefer that
Yes, I
over a
agree.
2.5 to. I prefer the Tiger 2. The gun is very
Yeah,
great, accurate. It's fast enough,
It can
and you
have they
can.
bully
nerfed the
low
252
pen
in any
tanks
way?
easily.
No, I mean even if it's a high pen vehicle, let's say a Chinese, the Warzet, the Celestial, the Warzet 112.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's a Warzet 112, there's a way for, if you learn the skills, how to beat that tank, even with 297 millimeters of heat penetration, if you know how to use a vehicle. Obviously, you can't
Yeah,
block all shots. You will get shot. You will take a shot, but you can always pull back, bait him to do this, do that, and
yeah,
that's essential.
yeah,
Tiger
yeah.
2 is I still believe Tiger 2 is one of the most OP vehicles rate so much.
Yeah, and I like the E75 as well because I like those two because they were so similar that because I first got the Tiger 2 on one of my original accounts like 4 or 5 years ago, and it really helped me from the fact that the Tiger 2 was literally the E75 was literally a mirror image of the Tiger
A
2.
Just like a
heavily
So
high
I could
armored
just
Tiger
caliber
2.
use
gun,
it.
basically.
Yeah, I could just use the same skills I learned in the Tiger 2 and play it even better than I played the Tiger 2. So I was just like, it's a win for me, really. I was just like, okay, well, that's not too bad.
If people
And
admit,
yeah, sorry, go.
was the Tiger 2
Yeah.
your first tier 8 vehicle?
Um, I think the my first tier 8 was the RU2, whatever it is, 251 or
Yeah,
whatever it
are
is,
you?
because I did the Leo line
Oh, the Leo
first.
line.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I,
which is a mistake for a new player, but I didn't do too badly in it.
I
So
would admit Tiger 2 was my first tier 8.
I wished the first tier 8 I did was a Tiger 2. That would have been great.
But back
But
then it
I
was
think
plus minus 2. So you're a stock Tiger 2 and you're facing E100.
oh
That
yeah,
would have been
yeah,
bad. And then you had to pay gold for
yeah,
Premo.
yeah.
And you couldn't
I
pen
think I
still.
remember. Yeah, I remember when I'll get into we'll get into more detail on this in a separate podcast. But the Russian mediums were just such a fun time to play. Like
T44s,
that, I
man.
really, I
Oh yeah.
really enjoyed playing at that point. I'm kind of sad it's not like that, but I'm kind of glad it's not like that because it was just completely broken at that point. It's like it's
E75 T54 platoon.
oh yeah, yeah. Because T34 wasn't premium originally, was it? I
I
don't
think
think because I
T30 used to be the tier
um
10 vehicle, though.
oh maybe that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking of. The T30 got put down or something.
Yeah, it went down to tier
Um
9, but it was used to be tier 10.
yeah, I think that's what it was. Something like that. Maybe not T34. Talking rubbish.
I mean, it's
Um
been a long time, so we don't really remember
eh,
the 6 years.
yeah, yeah. One of the I was when I was editing that I think the video that was like in memory of the MS1 or whatever I did like a month ago now. I came across some footage that was of the old mines map because they changed
Oh
the
yeah,
mines quite a
Oh
lot,
yeah. They've
and it was
done that
so
so
different.
many
It was
times.
so yeah, it used to be so much bigger, and now it's just so more compact. Like I like it now, but before that was just
Like
crazy,
you
like
could
how big
actually
it was compared.
hide.
Yeah, yeah, and you wouldn't get people rushing the hill the way they do now because you couldn't get there in time.
and people will be
It's mad.
literally camping the entrance of the hill. Nowadays,
Yeah,
you have
exactly.
one or two vehicles who would get killed because they try to rush the
Yeah,
hill.
Yeah.
exactly. Um, that's like a decision you have to make now. When you have to look at the other team, you're like, okay, they're all heavies. I might have a chance of getting to the hill, and then sometimes there's like four mediums, and you still rush the hill, and you get completely nuked because you get shot at the
I mean,
same
you
time
took
by
the
four
risk.
different tanks. Yeah, you took the risk, but you didn't pay it off. So you come out the game with like 200 damage because you get one shot in, and like a lot of hate from the team. They're like, "Oh, why are you doing this?" Like, you know what?
Yeah.
the saltiest community.
Actually, I got one of those games when I was in the T62, and I tried to rush the hill. I didn't get nuked because I pulled down. Like I tried to rush the hill. I
Yeah,
saw like there wasn't any mediums in any team, but their heavies were pretty
yeah,
fast, like an AMX 50B.
Ooh.
So the
Oh yeah.
moment I push
Yeah,
up, like I push up over that small rock, I would have got
yeah,
a nuke for all my HP. Like, I didn't
yeah.
push up, and half my team was raging. Like, you're a nub. You're not pushing. You're not spotting for us.
Oh, I hate when they do
But
that.
then you're
Yeah.
proxy
Yeah,
spotting all the heavies in front. Like you have all your targets.
yeah,
All I have to do is pull back. The heavies can do
yeah,
their job, and I can flank around. Let's say go to the riverside, try to get side shots,
yeah,
or keep myself hull down close, but letting my teammates be able to shoot the enemy heavies.
While you act as a
yeah,
distraction, yeah.
Distraction, yeah.
yeah.
And if they're distracted and you can
And
push the hill, then you push the hill. You take the hill. But people
yeah,
don't
the
realize that.
things that
Mines is a map. Uh, it's actually my favorite map. So it's a patience map. You have to
is
be
it?
patient.
Yeah, it is. A lot of people break their patience very quickly, and they just rush over the top, and then as a result, they get destroyed by the TDs, which will be camping at the back of
Yeah,
either
or
side
you
of the
get
map.
tracked and then everyone sees you.
Yeah,
And you
and
get
then you get
shot.
permatracks when you're exposed, and you're done for at that point. Like
Well,
it's just it's a battle of patience, really. It's like what's it called? It's like in chess, you know, when both teams are like both sides are stuck at the same point, and you can't really do anything. Like checkmate, that's
Yeah,
what it
it's like
is.
a
It's
stalemate,
stalemate.
yeah.
Cinema,
It's a
cinema.
stalemate. Yeah, yeah.
What's
And
even worse is when you see, let's say your team is doing good and you're bleeding out the enemy team, and you see, oh,
yeah,
there's like four one shots across the halfway point of the map. I'm gonna rush in
yeah,
and try to kill some people.
yeah. And
Like,
they just get
and
destroyed
then they
Because
get
immediately.
angry, like,
everyone's
why did?
focused on them. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
then like
Um,
we have like we still have like 4 minutes left in the game.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, I remember in particular that especially when I played the Vickers, a lot of people were like, why aren't you helping the team? Why are you not doing this? Like, because you in a light tank, you've got to be very mobile. You've got to be running around the map very often, and to obviously spot and everything. And as a result, the team has a go at you for not doing certain things, and you're like, well, I've got 6k spotting damage, and I've done 5k myself. How are you going to criticize me for not playing
Yeah.
well?
But people don't
Exactly. It's
see
just so
that. They
frustrating.
only expect you
Yeah,
like, oh,
exactly,
you have 0 kills. You did nothing in the game.
exactly.
Like I did
Oh, the
zero
people, the
kills, but I'm
people in the
like,
game. Yeah, the people that say, "Oh, you're a noob," and I'm like, "Well, I've done 6k." They're like, "Yeah, but I've got 5 kills." I'm like, "Yeah, you've stolen all the kills that
Yeah,
I've set up."
that's like that
I
happens
think I
with
get the
my
same amount of rage
Chimera.
when I'm in the leopard
Yeah,
because you
yeah,
can't
yeah,
brawl with a object 140 or a 62. I mean, obviously you can, but you're gonna bleed so much, and your team needs your
yeah,
HP in the end game because the leopard is such a great
yeah,
vehicle. You can just move around and shoot people,
yeah, yeah. That's
and
very true,
they're gonna
actually.
say like, "Oh, leopard, what did you do? Useless. You know, you're just camping." It's not camping. It's
Yeah,
effective sniping.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
tracking them for you. I'm spotting them. I'm not getting shot.
yeah. That's a lot of things people do. People will say because people assume that you must camp in a TD and you must brawl in the meds. You have to rush in a heavy, but you
Yeah.
don't have to do that at all. You don't have to camp in a TD. In like a 268 for example, you can get in their face easily. Like a Yag, you can get in their face. In an Leo, you can camp. Is you don't. It's like what people assume you have to do. You don't have to
Yeah,
do
like
that
I feel
because
like that's just the stereotypes for the tank line.
yeah, the stereotypes.
Like the Chimera, I play that aggressively, but I play it more like a
Exactly.
medium with a booster, and I do
Yeah.
peek and hide, and then I run around buildings because I can, because it accelerates fast. But I feel like a lot of players they keep calling me noob, but then again, I'm the one with 4 to 5k damage, maybe 1 kill or two, but most of the time it's been 0 kills just because it's a tank where you gotta dish out damage and let your team finish them because of the slow reload. And a lot of players
Yeah.
think, "Oh, you're heavy, you gotta soak up damage." And whenever it's not me in the Chimera, I always see them getting eaten up because it's got like a paper hull.
They're
Yeah.
overconfident. Like I bought a premium tank for 10,000 gold. You know, it should be like this. Or it should be like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's the
Yeah.
expectations wargaming puts on the players or on the vehicle themselves. Like when
Yeah.
remember the time when they sold the 252 a few months ago for 8,500 gold,
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
and everyone was just literally YOLOing in on a 2-5 to you. Like, I have the best
Yeah,
armor in
'cause
game. Like, no, no.
yeah, because they assume that's what you do, but it's not. And as a result, you just completely ruin what could be such a good tank for you,
Or a good
and they
game
don't know
for
how
the
to play it.
team.
And
Yeah,
and
exactly.
some people don't realize, like, we're going back to that topic, that you might not have the top damage, you might not have the most what do you call it, kills, but
Yeah,
I have carried games. I know I carried that game because
yeah,
you were in a heavy tank or a medium tank and you held down the enemy. They were
yeah,
focusing you, but you didn't get killed.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
and
I
like,
didn't block a lot because they couldn't hit me.
yeah,
They were just basically
and
waiting for me, looking at me, and then half my team just rolled around half the map, wiped everyone out.
yeah. In fact, before we started recording, I played the Lupus
Oh, that's a
10 minutes
nice
before,
vehicle.
and I aced that in like one of my fourth or fifth game, and all I did was I just used my team in such a way that I could just farm for in a semi frontline position because I was hold down. My turret was exposed and it was on Alpenstadt on the left side, next to the river,
Oh yeah,
and I
okay.
was just in the hold down position, and none of the enemy team could pen me. And then when it came to the end game, which was like a 1v4, there was like a couple 3 shots and a couple 1 shots, and I was just able to take them all out one by one because I was full HP and I managed to conserve my HP. And that's so critical for like those clutch times. If you manage to conserve your HP, then in the end game you're still able to turn it around if you play well enough. And a lot of people just make stupid mistakes like they will rush a 183
Yeah.
because for example there's a kill there, it's 200 HP left 183 and they're full HP in a Leo, but they decide to rush the 183 for that kill, but they in return they take 1.5 for 200, which isn't a good trade at all. You got someone out the game, sure, but you took so much damage that you're useless for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's like
And a
more
lot
of
of
like
players
a
don't
panic
understand that.
mode because you gotta run around because
And people
you're
should
basically a one
understand
shot to
that.
everyone.
I mean, people should understand,
Yeah,
like, when you're trading HP or conserving HP, there's a difference between, like, just conserving it for the sake of conserving it and conserving it
yeah,
for selfish reasons. Like, some people literally
yeah,
just camp in the corner of the map, my HP. Know
yeah,
when to take a shot. Sometimes you really have to take
yeah,
a shot to take out a vehicle. But I mean, right,
yeah,
you don't rush into a 183 with a Leo and lose half your 90% of your HP.
yeah,
Just try to spot him and shoot him from distance. The 183 is blind. The view range is what,
yeah,
260?
exactly. Yeah, you have the upper hand in that respect. That's what people need to do. They need to understand the differences, the dynamics between the different vehicles. Like obviously, a TD isn't going to be able to spot halfway across the map like a Vickers or a Leopard can, but at the same time, a Leopard can't do 1,300 damage the same way that a 183 can.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand the differences between tanks. Like, for example, they could have an IS7 and an IS4, but they play them the same way when they're completely different play styles. And um, as a result of that, you get some games where there's people you just have to be like, what are they doing? Like
Yeah, like they don't know how to
someone that,
make smart trade offs. Like they'll
yeah,
side scrape
exactly,
an IS7. Well, you're gonna get ammo racked if you overexpose yourself when side scraping. And I feel like when a lot of people like use those same skills for different tanks, it really isn't good, especially for trade offs because like also what Tim mentioned about being selfish about the trade offs. One thing I like to do, especially in random matches where I don't know anyone, I like to keep my team alive just in case I make a mistake. And I feel like that's one thing that, especially since I'm more of a heavy player, it's a very
yeah,
important skill to do, like knowing when to take that trade off. And I feel like
Yeah, like, even
since
if the guy
each
was a
tank is
30%
different,
player, you could use his HP
yeah,
yeah,
in
you
the
could
end,
use
right?
exactly,
yours just in case you make a mistake or catch fire or whatever.
So
Like
just
it's just
imagine
yeah.
you have
something
one
That's
that
teammate that's a 30%er, or 30, let's say 30, 40%, or not a good player. Let's just put it at that.
yeah,
And
yeah,
he's a one shot. End of the game is only it's a one versus two. the enemy might tunnel to your teammate because he's a one shot, and you can put yourself in a position where you can ambush that guy. It's
Yeah,
about making use of, all the variables in the game.
yeah. Like in those clutch situations, you like the Hall of Fame games that you see, like 9Ks and 8Ks. You see those players very effectively using their team's HP as if it was their own. So you get like if there's someone AFK, for example, that's basically a free like obviously it's a disadvantage to your team, but if you go to the left side and they're on the right side, so imagine on Middleburg, there's a med that's AFK on the top, and you've all gone to the city.
Yeah.
You've got a medium that is spotting for you, even though it's AFK. So you will be able to see where the enemy is, even if he's not doing anything. And at the same time, you're able to use that information that you know to either push somewhere else or to move in and do something to impact on the information that you have found out. And a lot of people don't use the information that they receive because either they don't understand to or they just don't get what to do. And I guess it comes in time after you've played for a while, because obviously the player base is obviously increasing, but is increasingly new people.
New
Yeah,
people,
it's
yeah.
in quantity, not quality players. It's just quantity.
Yeah, that would be a good way to describe it, quantity, but not quality at the moment. And hopefully that will come in time and make Blitz slightly more. Obviously, it'll be more competitive because you have to try harder to do well. But at the same time, it make the game more enjoyable. There'll always be people that are like kind of 40%, 30% people anyway, and there's nothing you can really do about that because there's some people that just hop on the game and play tanks just for fun.
For fun, yeah.
In reality, people get angry about that, but in all honesty, there's not really anything wrong with that because obviously it's a game. It's not in random battles. It's not a tournament. You're not expecting to have perfect team play.
Yeah.
You're with random people, and a lot of people have to accept the fact that a lot of players just come on to have fun or to just pass some time, play a couple games in like one of their tanks or whatever. And even if they play like shit, they're happy because they've done what they came out to do. And I think it's a bad thing that there's a lot of toxicity from players that are like, "Oh, go get cancer. I hope you get corona. I hope you die. You like kill yourself." That kind of thing isn't healthy for the game. And although I think Wargaming are trying to crack down on it, there's nothing they can really do against it without censoring the game, over censoring the game. I think that's a bad thing that makes a lot of players like leave the game. And I think that's something that should probably change, but there's not much you can do about it. So just frustrating to see it when it happens, especially when people say it to you after you've carried them. It's just really annoying.
Yeah.
And there's
Like I
not really a
remember-
foolproof way to report it either, because military honor does nothing.
It's useless. Yeah,
You can
absolutely
Yeah.
you
useless.
can give them a thumbs down, and all they get is a notification saying you were reported for provocative communication. That's it. Nothing will happen, and it's completely outdated.
Yeah.
Like every
And-
single email that I get from Wargaming when I ask about military honor, all they say it's like it doesn't affect your win rate. It doesn't
Yeah.
affect anything inside the game. So you can get like 500 negative thumbs downs and it doesn't affect you at all.
Yeah, exactly. And
I feel like
the
it's
times
a
that-
more first
sorry.
impression thing. Like, it's a purple star, but you can see just because they're an impeccable player, they probably have like 300, 500 average damage too, which I never go based off that because after when I take breaks or when I reactivate accounts or so and so, my account's back to the 3-star default.
exactly,
Like, can't
that's
judge
very
off
true.
that.
Yeah, and also I think Wargaming and support, because you can obviously report people manually through through support, and I've done that a couple of times when I've been really pissed off by something someone's done or said, and all Wargaming will say back to you, they'll write the same copy and paste message saying, "We've taken action on it, but we can't tell you what it is because of privacy reason," which is just an excuse to say they've done nothing.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Actually, I made a
Um,
post about that. I think it got banned in the official What Blitz Discord.
Because it's the truth. They can't accept the truth.
Like I told them, like
And-
I'm quite sure Wargaming has done nothing because the
Yeah.
next day, the next day I saw the guy, he was doing the same thing all over again.
Yeah,
He didn't get a chat ban, he didn't get a game ban.
exactly.
So yeah, Wargaming did nothing, and I think I
Like,
got banned from Discord.
and then on the same side, I can call someone an idiot in game, which is nothing wrong with that. And then someone will be like, "Oh yeah, I'm reporting to Wargame." I'm like, "Yeah, fine. Surely they won't do anything about it."
And then you get a
And I
2 week
end up
chat
with a
ban.
chat ban for no reason because I called him an idiot. But he's told me in the same game, "Go get cancer," but they haven't done anything about it.
Yeah,
It
like
makes no
one time,
sense.
since my Discord account now is relatively new, like there was a time where there was this kid I knew. He was kind of like struggling with like stuff like mental health and stuff, and someone like got pissed off at him even though he carried, but he
Yeah,
lost because his teammate blocked him, and he got so sad. And this is actually
yeah,
during a tournament too, where we like the Twister or whatever on the Wappy official, like that Twitch
yeah.
channel, and then
The
there was
Ascent
a
tournaments,
moderator
like the
there. He
ones coming
didn't
up.
do anything. Yeah, that moderator did nothing. I got like so heated at them, started swearing
The
at them. But
moderators
like
is just
Wargaming did nothing. But like when a kid's like is
yeah,
at risk, like are you shitting me, man? I'm sorry, but like it was
yeah,
like
Did you
so
exactly.
see that
like
post though the other day?
Which one?
One moderator said, "I don't work for Wargaming. I just moderate their forums."
Yeah, that's just they say that because they don't get paid money by Wargaming. But what do they get paid? They get paid test tanks and they get paid free gold, free premium. That's basically
Getting paid, yeah.
being
You're getting
employed by
paid.
Wargaming. They're getting paid,
You're just not
and
officially employed by Wargaming, but you are getting benefits from Wargaming.
yeah.
like sometimes I look on when there's a problem with like the game. I look on the EU support thing on the Discord server. It's like if someone's reported a bug. And then a moderator will come along and mute someone for trying to help me for something I've said because they said, leave it to the moderators. But the moderators come along and mute the person that's actually helped me and hasn't offered any support in the same way. And I'm like, what is the point of that? It's completely pointless. And it makes no sense to me. Like, the moderators are the biggest like hypocritical people I've seen because they will criticize for something and then you can see them in randoms or you can see them in like game chat or whatever and they'll be doing the same thing there, but because it's not in the spotlight of wargaming, no one cares, and even if you report it, nothing will happen.
Yeah, because they have
And
that power, and
yeah, exactly, they have that power. It's really annoying. And like the point, I think on one of the streams, I can't remember, it's like that American guy which is like the 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 one that runs the blitz for wargaming.
Ribble Strike.
Not the
No,
No,
Ribble.
it's not Ribble.
Ribble's
It's
Russian.
the American guy. It's he comes on occasionally, and he said on the stream that he doesn't tell anyone what his in-game name is, so he can see what players are like in the game and can get constructive feedback. But you think at the same time he says that, but he obviously doesn't play in the games where he gets like people saying comments like to do with like diseases and stuff because it's still in the game. Like you'd think they would have censored cancer at this point, but they haven't. But they've censored noob and idiot, and it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, you have to
It's
say
stupid.
nub, and then
Yeah, exactly. And like it's even worse on NA than it is on EU because
God,
NA everything is censored. And
yeah. So you have to
I
like
go on
put
NA
the
and
spaces.
yeah, and you have to use like accents on your letters and whatever.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
It's a way to bypass
Yeah.
their good system, their censoring system, which is useless.
Yeah, it's so easy. You just put like a French letter E or something, and you can say whatever.
I mean, I
you
can still
want.
say no, fuck in NA because I just have to remove the letter U. It will still go through.
Yeah, that's what I
Like
exactly.
it's
did.
crazy.
They said, yeah, they censored the F and K because they thought people said that, but they left FCK. It's so stupid.
Or you can do
It's so
FC space K. Like it will still go through. Like,
yeah,
come on.
yeah. It's the most pointless system. You might as well just let them say the main thing in the first place.
Yeah, like
It's so dumb.
like the one thing I don't like about how wargaming goes about that is that there's like this kid that platoon. He's a really skilled player. He's like 15, 14. And then some like noob got salty and he was just having a bad day anyway, like a very tough time. And he told him to kill himself. And I got mad as like hell at wargaming, and they banned my other account, so I just deleted it. But like I've never gone back on there because I'm like, are you serious? Like someone's life could have been at risk, and you care more about
Yeah, what if
like
the kid had a
that
mental
one
issue, right?
player, huh?
Yeah, I've actually I think that I won't say which clan it is just in case they hear, but I know on a certain NA clan that someone has actually killed themselves over the game, and they tried to get Wargaming to do something about it, but they never did any action at all
Yeah,
on
and
the
I
person
got
that had said
pissed
it.
about that because I felt that way before too, and survived that. I'm like, bro, like you care more about supporting that like toxic 40%
Exactly,
than
and
someone who
with
keeps the game alive. Like I was like, bro,
exactly. And with this same person that had unfortunately, very sadly, like had killed themselves, someone had made a troll account in their name, trolling it, like laughing at it, and Wargaming allows it. It's stupid. Someone's mocking him,
yeah,
and they still don't get rid of the account because it's free money for them. And you've got to think, okay, at the same time, it's a company that wants to make money,
Yeah.
but there's human decency as well.
yeah, like
It's not,
human decency is supposed to be a part of business because they're supposed to like value their customer base or player base, and I didn't see that day, so I got like banned for like
yeah,
they gave me the maximum ban. First it was a mute, then a ban, and I was like, that was like
yeah,
back in 20 few years ago, and I was
yeah.
like, wow, like you serious? You don't care about one of your best tournament players at that time, yet you care about like some toxic, like average player. Like I was like, wow.
Yeah, at the same time, I think as well that one person is a drop in the water to ban compared to the huge player base that they have. So banning one person for doing something which whatever reason it is, it's not difficult to do. It's really easy. Like you see the moderators giving out bans so easily. I remember, the in-game global chats which for different countries, for different languages, which don't really get used anymore. But
Oh
moderators used to
yeah.
be on there all the time, and I remember guys like Totalis and Unkindest, they would ban you for saying nothing, literally nothing. You could say hello and they'd ban you.
Yeah, like
But at the same time, someone's in a game insulting you about something else, and nothing will be done. It's really
It's
frustrating.
ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, and there's so much inequality in the game as well. For example, you saw on a stream, what's his name? His Royal Fatness went on stream, and it's clear to see that Wargaming love him so much because, for example, if he had said to them something had happened to him, like someone had said get cancer to him, they would have banned him instantly. But if any regular player, or like even if like tournament players such as myself, we said it to them as well, they would do nothing. It's just they want to do is preserve their reputation because they know he's in a position that he could speak out about it.
But I mean,
And
we don't blame Fatness for it because
yeah,
he's just
we're not
playing.
blaming Fatness.
It's
He's
just
just, but he's an example. Yeah,
or same thing like when we're actually lucky for some of the CCs that play like Droodles. Remember that
yeah,
guy at Meadsy and Droodles reported the two CDC the platoon of
yeah. I
CDCs
remember this.
because
Yeah, I remember
it's
that.
annoying. I've seen them. I have been
Yeah,
blocked by them in NA. Like I
exactly.
know. So
Yeah,
what is Wargaming doing? They just keep buying new accounts
exactly.
or getting unbanned. By oh no,
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
lagging for whatever reason.
Yeah,
They get
yeah,
unbanned.
yeah, exactly.
Wargaming has to be like, okay, we're gonna ban you to prove a point.
Yeah,
Vehicles waste your money. That's fine with us.
exactly,
But they
exactly.
shouldn't be
Because
able to keep making new accounts. There must be a way to like
yeah,
track them.
because I know they do track because in tournaments they have to track your location so they know you're not cheating with swapping accounts. So it's quite easy for them to do if they can do it in tournaments. And at the same
Regular games,
time,
right?
yeah, exactly. And they need to set an example because at this point, anyone in the game knows that wargaming is basically a pushover in terms of enforcement of the rules in game. Like in the server, they will ban you for anything, but in the game itself, you
they
won't.
yeah, like
You have to be very hard. It's very difficult to get banned, and they haven't really set an example of anyone to show that they will come down very heavily on whatever you say. It's quite hard to justify it.
I'll say one last thing going on about that. Like, I've seen actually, there's a time, remember in the EULA, it said if you had multiple accounts, you get banned. Well,
Yeah,
I
I
saw
remember that.
an admin creator of the game. I told him who I was just because I didn't want to get banned. He said, LOL, it's okay. So I just broke your N license agreement by having like 30 accounts in my reroll clan. But the fact that I'm able to get away with that and you're not going to ban like a player who's like being harassing, it just feels like I mean, I guess I'm lucky because I have all my accounts still, but at the same time, it just goes to show, like you said, you can really go like way out of proportion, still not get even a warrant.
Yeah, this is very true. Yeah, exactly. I think that is something that they need to work on in terms of the game at the moment. Like we've said throughout the whole of the podcast today, that there's issues with the games that need to be resolved, and there have been issues that they have resolved, and
Which is
obviously
good.
because which is good, but obviously at the same time the bad things cloud the good things. So obviously they do good, but then there's at the same time there's so much bad going on that you can't congratulate them for that. And I think as a result of that, because no one is thankful for the things they've done, they've kind of stopped doing those kind of things, and it kind of gets to a place of like unlawfulness in the game. Like people can say whatever they want about anything, and at some point before, you would have got banned for saying those things, but now you wouldn't. So it's a progression of the game that's happened over quite a long period of time, but they kind of got to do something about it before it gets too late to do something about it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, when people start getting fed up with the game and okay, Wargaming's not gonna care, we're just gonna quit, and they're gonna go with a
Exactly.
competitor. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
I still love the game.
Yeah.
Despite what it is, I still love the game.
Yeah, it's to all the hate that Wargaming gets about the game. In credit, it is one of the best mobile games you can play. In terms of
Exactly.
graphics, in terms of everything, it is one of the best games you can play. Like competitors have got nothing on. You see, like the clones of World of Tanks, and they're so bad compared to this. And that you have where credit's due. Wargaming have done a very good job on World of Tanks, or the Blitz, and even the PC version as well. That's very good.
The
Yeah,
PC version is
And
amazing. Have you seen the
yeah,
graphics lately?
yeah,
From what
exactly.
it
They
was from
upgraded
the
the
beta versions?
the graphic mod. They upgraded the graphics engine recently, I think. And I
I
think
mean, even before the recent update, the recent upgrade, dude,
yeah,
everything
it
is
was
amazing in
amazing.
PC.
Yeah,
PC also
exactly.
won like Guinness World Records or something. No, like Game of the Year award like 3 times in a row too when it first came
Yeah,
out.
exactly. And a lot of people are because World of Tanks Blitz is based off of World of Tanks PC. In the theory of it, obviously they're completely separate games at this point, but they were based off it. The Blitz was based off of the PC game to start off with, and a lot of people expect the same things you get in PC on the touch game as well. But at the same time, they don't understand that mobile devices obviously can't compete with a PC or like anything with like computing power. Obviously, if you had the PC graphics on touch, you would not be able to handle it on like any regular device. Like sure, like high end models like the iPad Pro and stuff like that, you might be able to get away with it. But on the lower end models, which I know for a fact people play on, they've got no chance. And you need to be able to justify your arguments that you make against them at the same time.
I mean, even my iPad. I got an iPad for World of Tanks Blitz. Even right
Yeah,
now, I have to play on all low.
yeah, yeah.
It's
I
really
have to play on
struggling.
medium. Yeah, I have to play on medium. I used to be able to play on high setting, but obviously, since the game's developed, I've had to switch it down a bit. And especially with this update, what was it? I think it was tracks in the ground and
Oh, the track
the
treads, yeah.
the shot, whatever it was, the shot markers.
I think the last
That
6.9, 6.9. Yeah.
Yeah, that has caused me to lose like FPS. So I've had to downgrade the settings even more to counter that. So, and my device isn't even bad. Like, and it puts into perspective that how much that a device can take. So, like, if I'm struggling with what I have, there's obviously going to be someone so much worse off with like some Android which is like 5 years old or something, which has been stopped supported ages ago, and they're struggling along with that. And you've got to be sympathetic with those people. And
I mean,
obviously,
not everyone has the money to keep buying new devices every time
exactly,
it has a game update.
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. Yeah, exactly, and that's something a lot of people don't realize. A lot of people in privilege that have good devices just assume everyone's on the same playing field as them. They're playing on their like latest iPads or whatever, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, you can't criticize people that are struggling along at 30 FPS or whatever with whatever they're
Yeah,
using.
that's
And
me. I got 30 FPS, but I got an iPhone 10R, but still, like, that's my only device I play on.
yeah,
And
yeah, I managed to get 60 on at the moment. I think I'm using my iPhone 8, and that's just managing to get along with 60 at the moment. And there's people that are so much worse off than I am, and I have to respect that. And I when I see someone in game struggling or lagging in game, I won't have a go at them because I've lagged myself, and I won't, because people criticize people that lag and they're like, "Oh, why are you playing the game? You're lagging." But it's like they act like it's never happened to them as well. You know what it's like.
Oh, I
FPS
know what
drops,
it's like.
like ping. You have to be sympathetic to some people sometimes. Like you have to consider, like, when people are AFK at the start of a game, it might be because they've crashed, their device can't handle it or something like that. It's not that the fact they're just not there. It's the fact that something might have happened that they might have to do. And it's also a mobile game at the same time. People play it to pass time. So, for example, you could be playing it and your door goes. You have to go answer the door. You've dropped everything and go. There's nothing you can do about it. And people don't realize this, and a lot of hate comes out of this, which is a negative thing in my opinion.
Yeah.
And people need to just learn and develop that mindset, and I think it will improve a lot in the game, and
I
it will make
definitely
the game a better
agree.
place.
Especially when you see the players that are like spinning in circles, because we know for a
Yeah,
fact that's lag. Because no
or
one
like the
just
people driving
randomly
into a wall
does that.
constantly. Yeah, no one is going to, in the right mind, is going to drive into a rock for the whole game. Like, you
Well, I mean,
have to
there are some
understand.
people, there are bots who actually do that, but not
Yeah,
everyone who does that is like, oh, he's a bot. He does it intentionally.
yeah,
Lagging so
I
bad.
get. Yeah, I get. Yeah, exactly. Um, and it's really annoying as well when, like, if your internet crashes and then this happened to me quite a lot because my internet's been pretty shit in like the last month, but it's recovered now. I used to crash quite a lot, and by the time I've managed to get back into the game, I've died already, and it's just so annoying.
And then you get your
And
team
I can,
like just posting,
yeah,
oh, what a useless nub, AFK in the
and
game. It's,
I'm just like, yeah, exactly. And at the same time, that has forced me to respect the people that obviously might have the same issue as me. So, I won't have a go at someone that is lagging or is AFK or anything. Um, like, the only players that I will have a go at in the game are the people that basically, it's like them being AFK, but they're not AFK. They've been playing, they've been there, but they've done nothing to contribute at all. And
Or
those
the
are the people.
players that just text another friend on
Oh
like
my god.
global chat.
Oh yeah, yeah. This happens a lot with Russian players as well, actually, on EU, because they see someone else that's Russian and they'll talk for the entire game. I'm just like, there's a tank in front of you, but you're not shooting him because you're right to your friend in the other team. Like, why?
Yeah.
It's
oh,
so
I mean, I've
annoying.
seen, unless you like, I mean, Asia's population is small, right? We have at the
Yeah,
most 6,000 players online at the most. So
yeah,
when you get to get yourself familiarized with the people you're playing with eventually,
yeah, yeah,
and then you see people with names like, okay, this guy literally just AFKs. I mean, you'd find some of those troll players. Some are
yeah. That
intentional,
you come across them. Yeah, of course.
but
Yeah,
a lot are just in those, bad devices or bad internet connection. So you can't have
yeah,
a go at them. But there are
yeah.
people that,
Exactly.
okay, I know this guy. This guy's like a 31% with 170,000 battles, 60 average damage. I mean,
Yeah.
that guy's an
Yeah,
obvious troll.
you do get some players which would deliberately. Of course, you get the tryhards at one end of the spectrum that will try and get 80% and like 4K average, and at the other end of the spectrum, you have people that will try and deliberately block you all game and try and get the worst possible stats they can, like 20% or whatever. And of course, you're going to have that in a game because this you're going to have people across the whole spectrum of types of players, and
Even
um,
in other games like Battlefield,
yeah,
I would see people who
exactly.
purposely put C4 down and let their team die.
Yeah, exactly. And like games, it happens in all sorts of competitive games, like team games. People will deliberately just lose you the game, and that's something you have to deal with, and that's something you have to get used to because. To be fair, Blitz isn't that bad in that respect. They do actually get rid of those players quite well. I don't see like the people that purposely block you all game a lot, but I do see them occasionally, and it's very frustrating. And you can see why people rage sometimes about it because once you have a bad day, it's not going to improve. Like that's as soon as my kind of like moral about Blitz is if you're having like 3 or 4 bad games, I stop there. I'm not going to continue. But people will have bad games of like 50 games they could have lost in a row, and they will be completely furious, and they will say anything because they're that angry. And you just got to be aware of the type of people that are playing the game at the same time as well.
I think the
Yeah.
worst streak I've ever had is like 40 games.
Oh,
40. And then I'm still like doing
I'd be
3K
so
average.
annoyed.
3K
Yeah,
average on 40 games lost. Like, come
It's
on.
so frustrating. Yeah.
My worst was 15, but I had 3 wins in between.
Oh yeah. I think my worst was possibly 20 or 25 because when I first started out.
But then I have this obsession like Droodles. Like, I cannot end the
Yeah.
game with a negative win, or let's say, mine's
Oh yeah.
not as hard as Droodles.
Yeah. Okay.
Droodles is like, I have to be at least, maintain my stats, like 3K damage,
Yeah.
60% win rate,
Yeah.
or whatever he is. Mine's a
I
bit
used to
lower,
be
so
like
it's
that.
easier for me, but it's
Yeah.
still pretty bad. Like, I need 50%. I have played like 270 games straight on one night just to get 50%. That has happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I've done that before actually because when I was trying to get 4K WN8, I had to at least keep up 4K plus every day. And the days that I was on like 3.3 or less or 3.4, I was so angry with myself and I had to play until I got there. And eventually I did get there, but it's so frustrating trying to get your goal, but not being able to get your goal, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, for me, like the Chinese heavy tanks, like my damage is only like 1.7, 1.8k in them, which is kind of bad. But at the same time, like I tried getting to my goal, and then there's this one loss that just brings my stats down. I try to rebuild and keep rebuilding, and sometimes
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
just need
I got what
someone
you
to
mean.
stop. Like,
Yeah.
I could have had stats like Angel on my 112 too. Like, I started off with like 3,100 damage. I tried to get to 3,250 and went down to like 2.6. And I eventually kept playing until then. I had some few bad matches. Brought it down to like 2k. Now I'm sitting at like 1.8 now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you're a tier 8, if you're doing about 2,000 damage on NA, I think that should be pretty much okay. That should be great.
Yeah.
I mean, even in Asia, for me, the bench, I might be doing like 2K average on certain vehicles, but it's more like, are you having fun or are you just, running after stats? If you're happy,
different
sure.
types. Yeah, there's 2 different types of people. People that will chase after stats and people that will just play for fun.
Like, I know a guy who would actually, I don't care about the win rate anymore. He still has a high win rate, like 65, 67. But he's like, I don't care about the win rate anymore. I just want to get my stats up.
Yeah.
So
I understand that.
He actually quit the account, made a new account.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get 3.5k average on tier 8.
Yeah, exactly. We have been talking for a very long time.
Yes.
So,
Sorry.
Is there anything you'd like to say in conclusion to this thing? I think at the moment we're on 95 minutes, so
more of like wargaming. Just please listen to your community. Please listen to your players.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if we're professionals, super unicums, or just snubs. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Please listen.
Yeah. Exactly. And we'll make this kind of a more regular thing, and we'll build on this as time goes on with different similar things, but different kind of topic lines, and we'll go on about that as well in different ways.
Last thing that I want to say is that for the community, please, if you have any issues with gameplay or wanting to learn or eagerness to learn like tanks, don't hesitate to like message like the players that are willing to help you, because at the end of the day, like that's another teammate. It's not a 1v7 anymore or a 2v7. It's a 3v7. Just pass the knowledge on, because it really
they're more
helps.
than happy to help. Yeah. Well, most
of
them are more than happy to help. So, most of them. Sometimes you get the ones that won't help
like,
you.
You should know by now. Those are the kind of players.
Yeah. So I'm going to end that part of the podcast here. So thank you everyone for listening for this long. And I will, of course, leave the link to Tim's YouTube down below in the description. Stats doesn't actually have a YouTube, so I can't do the same for him. But thank you guys for listening. And
Hey guys, it's Shady again. I just want to say thank you for listening to the Shady Show podcast. I hope you enjoyed episode 1 of hopefully very many. And please feel free to leave any feedback down in the description below. But other than that, thank you for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.